Hello friends, Nummy back. Legacy Cube is up. About time. I was dead tired of Modern Masters, and either Revolt just did not tickle my pickle anymore, so we got some Legacy Cube. Q's just about to fire. Let's see what kind of business we can do. Alright, packet to go. A few good ones here. I'm looking at Draga Tree Speaker, always great in the green decks. Koth of the Hammer, well, you know what that goes into. Inferno Titan, one of my favorite Titans. Damnation, and a Marsh Flats. A lot of other fine cards here, but I think those are the cards that I am willing to first pick. Again, Cube. A lot about your personal choices, personal favorites. And while it is good to stay open and draft what is getting past you, still, you want to have some fun. You want to do things that you want to do. So, what do I want to do this time? That's a good question. I don't know if I've done a Red Rocks Me draft for you guys for drafting with Numot. I've done it plenty on stream, but I don't know if I've done a recorded draft of Mono Red. So we could definitely do that if I take the Koth here. Second behind that, I think I take the Inferno Titan and then maybe Marsh Flats. But I'm down to try how Red rocks me. Let's take the Koth here and see what happens. Not too great of a follow-up pack for Mono Red. You do have a Scrap Heap Scrounger, which is fine. It's just a 3-2 for 2. There's a Fire and Ice, which is fine as well. Top, Cryptic Command, Gilded Lotus. This is not the pack we were looking for to follow up a Koth of the Hammer. Kind of tempted to just take Cryptic, honestly. That card is always great. And, well, never upset to have a Cryptic in my list. Gilded Lotus here, top. Yeah, not too much else. I'll take the Cryptic and see what happens. I'm pretty glad I took a different colored card as we're not seeing any red. So I'm just going to put that Koth over to the sideboard for now. And we have some decent ones. Wrath of God, Tundra, Necromancy if I want to go some Reanimator shenanigans. Reanimator's also quite good, and Cryptic goes pretty nicely into that because blue-black is generally the Reanimator colors, although triple blue might be a little bit hard, of course. Yeah, you know what? I'd take Necromancy here and see if we wheel the Pack Rat. I could also do the other way around, take Pack Rat and see if we wheel Necromancy, but I'd rather guarantee that I have the effect to reanimate right now. Okay, not a great pack here. This is probably just a Doomblade. Not really any clear signals. I do think green is pretty nice in this format, although it can be somewhat of a trap. Utopia Sprawl, quite a good one. Teferi, Is It Charm. Just going to take the Doomblade and see where we go from here. Not bad to have mono removal. Ooh, a Thragtusk. I didn't realize Thragtusk was in the cube. Sundering Titan's quite good. Deathrite Shaman's quite good. I'm going to take the Titan here just because it's a nice, not only target to reanimate, but it's also just good to cast it should you hit 8 mana, so we'll take the Titan. Ooh, and a Kolaghan's Command now. Hey, that is interesting. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Good if I wanted to go more of a heavier black route. In fact, we haven't really seen much blue. Could put the Cryptic in the sideboard now as well. Command, though, is one of my favorite cards of all time. Legacy Cube, it's probably not as good as it was in some of the other cubes, but this card, definitely a nice one. Grey Merchant, Kolaghan's Command. Not really paying attention to any of the other cards here, although I guess you could look at Goblin Dark Dwellers and consider it a possibility. Boy howdy, what am I doing? I think I'm going to take the Kolaghan's Command here. The card is just too good. Careful Consideration, there's an Erebos, a Johnny Vengeant, Mirari's Wake, that's kind of late. Boy, I kind of want to take the Ajani now. This is looking like my Mardu Planeswalker decks from the previous cube, although that archetype is a lot harder to acquire in this cube. I'm going to take the Careful Consideration. It's pretty nice. It keeps us open to a Reanimator plan. Also lets me put Cryptic back into my deck. Rakdos' Return versus Skin Render now. Both good options. I think I'd rather take the black card than the black-red card, although I do think Rakdos' Return is a silly one. But we're not guaranteed to be playing any amount of red, and I have no fixing right now anyways. He says that as soon as Inferno Titan wheels. Wow, I was actually considering first picking this card too. Emrakul, the Promise End, Fatal Push. I'll take the Inferno Titan. Fire and Ice on the wheel, but I think this time we're going to take the top, especially if we're going to go more of a 3-color deck. Now we're going to look to prioritize the fixing, especially the fetches, as it works really nicely with the top. Really, I could still just be black-red here. Put the Koth back in. Take out the Sundering Titan. Lot of possibilities here. And seeing as it is a cube, I'm not worried about picking up playables. In fact, we're probably going to end up with 30 or so playables anyways, so kind of hedging around and moving around is not really something that I'm concerned with. I'll take the Noxious Gearhulk here. Bone Shredder and Goblin Bombardment are both fine. There's a late Wrath of God as well. Gurmag Angler straight to the sideboard. Okay, that is a late Deathrite Shaman. I'm probably not going to main deck it, but it is an interesting choice. Ooh, and a Goblin Dark Dwellers on the wheel too. Wow, super late Mirari's Wake. I love this card. Does some silly stuff. I guess the green-white doesn't lend well to what people want to be doing. Kolaghan's Command, Goblin Dark Dwellers. Yowza, that is a spicy wombo combo. Alright, so not a bad first pack anyways. I took Koth looking to go like mono red, but then we got past some nice ones. Blue kind of dried up after we took that, but now we kind of settle on like a black-red control-y deck, and I think we're going to take the Inquisition here for that matter. Follow on that game plan. Next pick. Woo, the Upheaval. This is one of the spicier cards in this, well, in any cube really, but there's not much ramp, so this doesn't really do much, or is that at least as much as you would hope it to do. Instead, we're looking at like Dark Petition, Imperial Recruiter, probably just taking the P and Kirin Nalaar. Looking to be a red-black, I guess, mid-rangey control deck? I don't know. This looks good, though. Can't say I've tried this archetype in Legacy Cube, but who knows. Ooh, a Blood Crypt. Oh, that is like the perfect land, but Obnixilis is so good as well. Ugh, that's brutal. I think I like getting greedy and actually just taking the Obnixilis here. I think lands are a very high pick in Cube, and Blood Crypt is probably the correct pick, but like I said, I'm greedy. Planeswalker's sweet. Oh, wow, there's a Recurring Nightmare in this format? Oh, well, I can't pass that up. This pack is stacked, holy moly. Splinter Twin, Counterspell, Vryn, Jace, Ancient Tomb, Dreadbore, Hypnotic Spectre. This, wow. Everything in the world here. But yeah, I'm going to take the Recurring Nightmare because that card is busted. Alright, this time I will take the Bloodstained Mire. A lot of other good picks here as well, Flametongue Kavu and the Sorin Markov, but fixing is key, and I do have the top like I mentioned, so fetches go a little bit higher for us. This is a good start. And yeah, Massacre Worm's not a bad one if I want to take that, although I think I want to take some lower drops here in the form of Anger of the Gods or Malicious Affliction. Dude, this deck is looking spicy. Spicy as heck. Yeah, I think I'll go with the Anger here. Just some early game removals. Pretty easy. Necrotal now, although Duplicant's also a very good one with Recurring Nightmare. And Duplicant more likely to survive a Anger of the Gods, but I think Necrotal's a fine pick. Mog War Marshal also very, very good with the Recurring Nightmare. Alright, there's Sholdred. We'll go ahead and take her. Him, it, I don't know. Pestermite, Chainer's Edict, some more red burn spells. Oh, Gonti now too. Gonti with Recurring Nightmare? Yeah, value. Also, Avalanche Rider's Recurring Nightmare is gross, but this might be an Imperial Recruiter, as it does find almost all of our 4-drops. It finds Pia, it finds Gonti, it finds Necrotal. I think we are cutting the Koth, though. Yeah, so let's get the Avalanche Riders online. And we wield the Blood Crypt, and got a Dreadbore. Alright, this is going really, really well for us. Mizzy Mortar over Blood Artist, probably, although Blood Artist does work well with the sack synergies. Or rather, the sack outlets. Honestly, could be cutting the Shoulder and going more of a lower mana curve. I don't have any ramp. This looks nice. I approve of the route that we've taken. I probably would end up playing Entomb if I were to pick that up in the last pack, as I do have the Necromancy as well as a Recurring Nightmare for some double reanimate shenanigans. But if we did, I guess Shoulder would probably find her way back as well. Yeah, all of my creatures have synergy when they enter the battlefield, or rather value when they enter the battlefield. Riders blowing up a land, P and Kieran making Thopters, Gonti stealing a card, Skinrender killing something, Necrotal killing something, Dark Dwellers flashing back something, Inferno Titan, Gearhulk both burning or killing stuff. Hey, and we wield a Malicious Affliction. All right. Black-red nonsense control, it is. Incendiary Flow too, not bad. Probably going to cut that, but might find room for it if necessary. Okay, Hero's Downfall, Zealous Conscripts. Could take Copter, Wretched Confluence. I think we go with Conscripts here, as it's just a very good value creature. A lot of Planeswalkers in this format. You can steal them and ult them, and it's great with Recurring Nightmare. So what you can do is you can play the Zealous Conscripts, steal an opponent's creature, sack that creature to get something back from your yard, yada yada yada, and then you can start looping your Zealous Conscripts as well. So let's take that. Wouldn't mind picking up like a Mind Stone if they have that, or if I get past it. Coalition Relic. Chromatic Lantern's probably not terrible either. Toxic Deluge though, this is one of the best black cards in my opinion. It's just so good. 3 mana Wrath. Gets around a lot of the random effects as well because it's -X as opposed to like just destroy. There's a Nighthawk and a Cunning Spark Mage in this pack as well, but I think Toxic is just way too good. Sorry, Chromatic Lantern. Hey, there's that Mind Stone I was asking for. Don't mind passing a Go for Throat, and Dral's Messenger is way too hard to cast. Silumgar is worthy of splashing, yes, but well, I called the Mind Stone, and so I'm going to go ahead and just take it. Ooh, Wormcoil. Wow, I was going to jam the Lava Crawl Reaches here, but I think Wormcoil's got to be the pick. It's another Titan, really good with Recurring Nightmare, just good win con. And that Blood Crypt wheeled last time, so it's possible that we wield the Lava Claw Reaches as well. And then we have kind of a whiff. I guess we can take the Wooded Foothills here. It's good with the top, and it does find Blood Crypt, so value enough for me. And a Murderous Cut pretty happily. Gonna have to cut a card. It might just be cutting Skinrender now, as we have enough ways to blow things up. Gonna take a sideboard Arc Trail for like the green deck. You can blow up multiple elves. Always feels nice. This draft is really good for us. Solid draft indeed. Decent sideboard options. Fixing's getting better for sure. Yeah, I think this is good. Definitely capable of 3-0ing with this deck. It's not one of those decks where it was drafted really awkwardly or I kind of tried to force something and got punished. But we stayed open and we drafted a really nice red-black deck. Okay. Last pick here that we haven't seen. Sidisi and Whip of Erebos. I think Whip of Erebos could be really awesome here too. If Recurring Nightmare is good, then Whip of Erebos is probably going to be good as well. Let's take that. And I guess I can cut one of these removal spells, as we do have plenty at this point. I mean, look at our removal, right? We have Inquisition Doomblade, Affliction, Mortars, Dreadbore, Kolagon's Command, Anger of the Gods, Toxic Deluge, Necrotal, Murderous Cut, Obnixilis, Noxious Gearhulk, Inferno Titan, and we wield the Hero's Downfall. Although Downfall is going to make a slot in the deck for sure, as it does get rid of the Planeswalkers, which some of our other removal doesn't. So I can probably cut like the Mortars, honestly. And maybe even the Anger of the Gods. We can always sideboard the Anger in, just like the Arc Trail, if we see any mass tokens, but otherwise we have a ton of good spot removal. And I can bank on Toxic Deluge for a wipe if necessary. Yeah, this is a really nice deck. Again, not sure how it's going to work out in the Legacy cube, but on paper, it looks good. Oh, I better check the Goblin Dark Dwellers. So, instant or sorcery with current mana cost 3 or less. Command, Downfall, Toxic, Doomblade, Malicious Affliction, Dreadbore, Inquisition. That's plenty of targets. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. That's a super late Lingering Souls. We might play that Volrath Stronghold, though. We'll see. It's probably not extremely necessary since we have Necromancy, Recurring Nightmare, and Whip, but it could be a decent sideboard option. I'm not sure this deck can really afford to play colorless lands, so probably just leave it in the side for now. Apologies if you hear some background noise. The laundry is going on in the background. Machine, that is. Hopefully I don't get tired of Cube as fast as I did Modern Masters. There's so many more iterations of what you can do in Cube, though, that it seems highly unlikely that I'd get super exhausted from this format. Alright, Invernal's Disc also for the sideboard, and we have ourselves a deck. Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, Blood Crypt, and that gives us room for 14 more lands, so we'll probably just go 7-7, chop it up. Maybe 8-6. Well, they want me to go 9-5. I think I'm going to go 8-6 here, though, just to play it safe. Wooded Foothills finds Blood Crypt, and if Blood Crypt's already on the battlefield, then it only gets a mountain, whereas Bloodstained Mire can find both. So let's save it like this, and let's go to round 1, see what we can do with this nasty red-black deck. Stay tuned. Boom, round 1 here with our red-black control removal deck? I don't know. We're going to play first, and we are going to keep this hand a little bit slow on getting on the board, but we do have 2 removal spells in hand to buy us some time, and we even have our Blood Crypt already. So good mana. We already have double black, and we can get double red here as Wooded Foothills, again, only finds a mountain at this point. Although I'm going to want to save my Wooded Foothills until I absolutely need to play it, as we do have a Sensei's Dividing Top in the deck, and we still want to draw lands with this specific hand. Forest, okay. Let's see if they have a Mana Dork. They do not. Mindstone off the top? No, alright. Just another land. Not upset with that. Holding up Malicious Affliction and Doomblade now. We'll see what the opponent's on. I've drafted some pretty good green decks in this format, as you do have access to like Craterhoof, Behemoth, and whatnot. Hello, opponent. What are you doing? Nothing. Shatterpaws, nothing. If they just play like a random Mana Dork here that I can target, I will probably shoot it down. Sylvan Library. Oh, that's not good for us. Card is very good. Ooh, Gonti. Alright, we have a game plan. Sylvan Library, one of those busted old cards. At the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand, draw on this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card on top of your library. So you can draw 3 cards a turn with this, as long as you're willing to pay 4 life for each additional card. Farseek, okay. And shuffle effects, just like with Sensei's Dividing Top, excellent with Sylvan Library. You can shuffle away any cards that you don't really want. Okay, another swamp, so we're going to play that instead of playing out our Foothills. Take a peek at some of the opponent's cards. See if we see anything we like. And eat it. Next turn we have Obnixilis into hopefully Wormcoil Engine. Good stuff indeed. The real Kenji indeed. As long as you're talking about NumotTheNummy and not Kenji Samura. Ooh, we can take a Garrick Apex Predator. All right, that sounds delicious. Wow, that's wonderful. Gonti is silly. Man, I hope we get the Gonti train rolling with our recurring nightmare. Just value, value, value. All right, nice opponent, viewer of the stream. This ain't no stream, though. This is drafting with Numot. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I put 17 lands in this deck, yeah, but 2 of them are fetches. But as soon as we jam Ob Nixilis, we should be able to start drawing extra lands. So what could they have to kill Ob Nixilis? They could have a Hero's Downfall of their own. They could have a Vampire Hexmage. They could have Vraska, Beast Within, Song of the Dryads. Although Song of the Dryads would get me closer towards Garrick. Courser of Crewfix from the opponent. Into a Chainer's Edict, sacrifice. Alright. Well, now knowing that they have Nissa on top, it's a little bit awkward if I want to cast Ob Nixilis this turn. I probably don't. As Ob Nixilis would just die to the Nissa. I need to get some protection first, so I think what I'm just going to do here is maybe pass. No, that can't be good. I need to put out Pia and Kieran Nalaar. I was going to say pass and then Doomblade Courser after their draw step to see what they're drawing, but I think Pia is going to give us the blockers and the defense we need in order to play out our larger cards later. Leaving the Courser sucks, especially when they have the Sylvan Library, but I think this is a better play. Slaughter Pact end of turn on my Pia and Kieran Nalaar. Okay. I am very okay with that. Interesting. Alright, so they have land on top of their library. They put the land back on top. Only have access to 3 mana now. They have Nissa in their hand. I will take my 2 beats. My beats for 2. And they pay pass. Good. Well, that's not a land. I'm going to go with Ob Nixilis uptick here and just pass the turn. That way, if they play Nissa and attack with a 5/5, I can just take the hit for 5 and chump the Courser, should that attack as well. Could also play Mind Stone and hold up Doomblade and Malicious Affliction, but I want to progress my board state a little bit, and hitting that next land is going to be great. As we want to get their Garrick online, because that Garrick can kill their Nissa for us. Perfect. So 1 more land next turn, and we get to cast out the Garrick. Okay, end of turn, the opponent beasts within my Ob Nixilis. That is rude. Now I'm giving them a little bit too much value with the Courser. It's been, what, 3 turns now? Abrupt Decay in the hand. Okay. I think did they play the land from their hand? I couldn't tell. Verdurous Gearhulk. Alright, that's not too bad for us. We can just clear the board pretty easily. And they're still holding on to Nissa, so I'm in no rush here. I'll go ahead and chump the Courser with one of my Thopters. Gain a few life. Oh, and we drew Recurring Nightmare. Wow, that's gonna be insane. Okay, I'm jamming the Worm Coil here. Because what we can start doing is Recurring Nightmare, our Worm Coil engine, and our like Gonti or P and Kirnalar to keep getting tokens. Oh my god, that's absurd. Because we have such a strong game plan, I'm not going to attack with the Thopter. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just hold it back as a blocker, just in case. End of turn, are they going to Abrupt Decay the Beast token? They did indeed. That's not a big deal. Opponent should be drawing extra cards with Sylvan Library, I feel like. They could cast Terraston on here, but I don't even know if that's that great. And they opted not to. Okay. So they have Nissa in hand. And we get to start going to Business Town. Oh my. Actually, Recurring Nightmare next turn, sack Worm Coil, get Gonti, steal their Terrastodon. That turns on Malicious Affliction, killing both their Courser and their Gearhulk. Oh, mama, that's a play. Okay, there's Nissa. Not a big deal. And we actually get to attack in with the Worm Coil to Nissa. Either they double block it and lose 2 creatures, which I'm fine with, or they just let Nissa die, which is also very fine with us. So let's do that. Attack Nissa for 6. See what they want to do. All of their creatures have 5 power, so they have to double block. Yeah, the amount of value we're about to get is absurd. They could chump it with their land if they wanted to. They have a glut of lands currently. Alright, this is fine by me. So we'll trade our Worm Coil for a Gearhulk plus land, get some tokens, cast out Recurring Nightmare, get back our Worm Coil, sacrificing Thopter token. And then we'll do it again. Recurring Nightmare, getting back Gonti, sacrificing Worm Coil engine, getting 2 tokens in the process. Gonti their Terrastodon. Boom. All right. Now they can ult Nissa here, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. Should have just killed that Courser a long time ago, Kenji, but look at all the value we're getting. So much value to be had. If they were going to ult Nissa, they would have done it before they played the land off the top of the library. I mean, they can get like their Gearhulk back from the graveyard, but that doesn't even do that much. What do you have? 5, 6, 7. Okay, Hornet Queen as expected. I mean, heck, if we drew Toxic Deluge, they could just wipe those board too. Alright, they did return the Gearhulk with Nissa, which is fine. And they played a Pack Rat, sure. Kolaghan's Command the draw. How do we want to play this? I think we just attack all of our worms at Nissa. and see how they block. Of course, they're just going to block one of the life linkers, which is fine. I'm not sure why they're double blocking. Yeah, there we go. Alright, looks like they're just going to trade everything off for Hornets. I'm fine with that. And I'm going to just Doomblade here, their Courser. Oh, actually. Yeah, Doomblade their Courser like I should have done a while ago. Mindstone, Recurring Nightmare, get back our Wormcoil Engine. And this sets us up for playing Garrick next turn. I do need to actually start doing some winning. Hopefully I don't get punished for not killing the pack rat, though. Like, they could just pay 4 life for a bunch of cards and then make a bunch of pack rats, but Wormcoil wins many of those races. As it turns into a Song of the Dryads. Okay, we got a game here. Oh, I actually saw that on the top of the library, didn't I? Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Almost certainly a mistake on my part. Alright, they made a huge insect, which is fine. We still have plenty of life to work with. Okay, 23 I go. This makes a land a creature, sure. And Oath of Nissa, last card in their hand. I mean, we're still in excellent shape. Even the board state doesn't look like it. We are doing wonderful. Whip of Erebos is kind of spicy. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I can Terastodon their Song of the Dryads, their Nissa, and a Forest if I wanted to. I think that's a good play. Remember, Gonti lets you cast. I guess we're just going to kill their library. And I don't think I killed myself here, because their land's going to go back to a non-creature. They do have Silverheart in their hand now. I guess if they top deck Craterhoof Behemoth, I can lose. But as it stands, we should be okay. Yeah, they just made a huge insect. Alright, take 9. Yeah, we're still fine here. Attack for 6, gain 6. I'm sure I could have maneuvered this game to a position where I couldn't lose to even a Craterhoof. Wow, they're triple blocking. All right, so now we get to eat all 3 of their elephants because of Death Touch. Gain 6 in the process. Get 2 tokens. Creature died, so I get to Affliction both their Silverheart and their Hornet. Alright, kill both their fatties. Recurring Nightmare. Sack the Lifelinker. Get back the Wormcoil. I guess I might as well Inquisition them for good measure. Could have saved that for Mindstone. And they can just discard the Pack Rat in response. It's an Overgrown Tomb. Alright. Easy enough. This game's going to take a while, but it looked over for a very long time. Alright, and they'll just scoop. 20 life to 22 life, but we have such a chokehold with the Recurring Nightmare and all of our value creatures. What do we want to bring in versus them? Could bring in Anger. Yeah, I don't even think I want to bring anything in. Our deck is pretty well tuned to beat theirs already, I would think. Yeah, let's just ship it back and go to a game 2. Game 2 here. We are on the draw. We are going to happily keep. Again, a little bit slow, but good removals, good creatures, and we're on the draw. So I don't mind keeping a little bit of a slower hand. Hopefully our opponent doesn't come out of the gate swinging. As we lead with our Blood Crypt. Swamp and Pass from them is good for us. No Sylvan Library nonsense. Okay. Game plan is just to kill everything the opponent plays and then attack them with Wormcoil Engine a bunch of times. Seems like a decent option. We're not going to use the Hero's Downfall in that Nissa. We know they have the actual Planeswalker Nissa, and Necrotal can just kill it. As can Toxic Deluge. Such a good card. So tasty. So gosh darn tasty. I will take my beats for 2. And say what you got. Courser of Krufix with a forest on top. All right. Yeah, I think I just Toxic for 4 now. Save my removal. This is a little bit loose versus their Hornet Queen, but I think it's fine, as I'd rather get the 2 for 1 now. The only thing that scares me this turn is like the Nissa Planeswalker. Oh, but it's just a Wolfear Silverheart, which Necrotal, fortunately enough, kills. Alrighty. I'm going to play the Necrotal instead of the Obnixilis just because, again, Nissa, I don't want them to haste it out a land and kill it, our Obnixilis. But now our game plan is pretty straightforward. Just jam the Wormcoil next turn. Attack for 2. Play out our Wormcoil Engine. And then next turn we can Obnixilis. A little bit tempting to kill the Elvish Mystic because we know they have expensive cards in their deck. Terastodon, namely. But it shouldn't be too big an issue. Terastodon doesn't kill our Wormcoil Engine very well. Okay, no plays. I like that. So we are just going to bash bash. And surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, I am going to Obnixilis here and kill their Elvish Mystic. As this way I get to hold up the Doomblade still. And this takes them off mana. If they didn't do anything last turn, it could mean that they need the mana. Obnixilis eating a Beastwind, and that's also fine. I still present lethal on the board here. And we should be able to kill just about everything. They need a removal spell to survive, basically. That Chainers doesn't actually do it either, because I can just sack the Wormcoil, get 2 3/3s, and then still have 11 points of damage. So, first round, pretty nice for us. Got a good one. And we're going to queue up for round number 2. Second match with our black-red control-y deck. We are on the draw, and I'm going to keep. Doomblade can kill their first creature if necessary, and Toxic Deluge probably going to do a lot of work, as looks like we are playing against another green rampy deck. Attack for 1, so no ramp. It's good for us. Or at least nothing to ramp on 3. Oh, Raphelos. That is something I think you have to just Doomblade. I would like to save that and wait for Toxic Deluge, but that gives them so much potential mana next turn. And Toxic Deluge is still going to be good in this game. As they cast a Fauna Shaman. Yeah, I'm just going to Toxic here for 2. Gives me a good curve setup. Alright, get a nice little 2-for-1 there. And they just passed the turn. Awesome. Now we take the lead, play a Gonti, steal a Sylvan Caryatid because this doesn't get lands. Yeah, because it says you may cast. You can't cast out lands. So we'll take the Sylvan Caryatid here. And that's actually going to help us ramp up to 6 mana. Garruk. That's not what I want to see. So I can do a few things here. But I think we're just going to Zealous Conscripts their beast and kill their Garruk. Attack, attack, and then attack them for 3. Seems like a safer play to me than taking their Garruk and just -3, draw a couple cards, and still leaving them with Garruk on 1 loyalty. Six lands from the opponent. This could be Primetime time. Primeval Titan time. Do they have it? It doesn't appear so. They would have jammed it by now, I think. Have to be a little bit careful. Like, I'm going to run out the Wormcoil next turn, but they could have Sower of Temptation or Control Magic. They don't have the double blue for that yet, but it's still something to think about. This could be a Primal Command, 5 mana. Ah, it is a Primal Command. Alright, so they put the land back on top of my library, and they're searching their deck for a creature. Sure. Avenger of Zendikar, alrighty. A little bit scary, certainly. We'll just jam out the whip and a bash in for 4, or rather 5. Now if they block, I have one of those value creatures in the graveyard. They still need another land here, though, for them to cast out the Avenger. Oh, boo, Acidic Slime kill my whip. That's not fun. Okay. I guess that's better than them casting out Avenger. Mountain the draw. I think we're okay trading away here. Just clearing the board out for Wormcoil Engine. This gives us great creatures in our graveyard for Necromancy and Recurring Nightmare, should we be able to draw one of them. They're still missing their 7th land, it looks like. Oh, nope, there it is. So that's Avenger of Zendikar time. Ooh, and we drew a Noxious Gearhulk. Perfect. I actually should attack in here first, because they might not block. Very small likelihood that they don't block with a plant, but it's possible they wanted to preserve. We are at 32 life, but they have a bunch of blockers for us. Alright, they drew a Breeding Pool, but they didn't leave it untapped, so it doesn't mean no control magic effect. And we get to keep bashing in with our fatties. They have to double block the Noxious Gearhulk if they want to. Block it at all. Yeah. It's a 3-turn clock with the Gearhulk, a 2-turn clock with the Wormcoil, so that makes sense. Caryatid, Bloodstained Mire. And I'm not going to use the Mire. Again, we do have a top in our deck somewhere. Oh, well, I guess they're just going to concede. The thinning is pretty negligible, but if we draw top, then the shuffle effect is very, very relevant. Okay, another green deck. Another deck where Anger of the Gods and Mizzium Mortars do seem like they would be good. I think I like the Anger over the Mizzium Mortars. Maybe just catch the Avalanche Riders versus them, since presumably they get to ramp out quite a bit. And ship it back for game 2. Game 2 versus another green deck, this time with blue. We're on the draw, and our hand's pretty nice. Turn 2 Mind Stone, turn 3 Gonti. We do have the Recurring Nightmare in our hand. This is a pretty nice chain of cards for Recurring Nightmare. I don't have any removal, though, which is definitely a problem. If they just play out some cheap rampers like this, and I don't have a removal spell, oh my gosh, they have the Cradle too, then we could definitely fall behind way too quickly, as opponent already has access to 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Wow. This is where Anger of the Gods and Toxic Deluge would be very key. Oh boy. This is what you call ramping. Okay, 7. Garrick, okay. Make a beast, yeah. I don't know why they tapped the Shaman then. Yeah, this is an issue. Let's steal their Whisperwood Elemental. Not looking good for us right now. Now they get to draw 3 cards with Garrick if they want to, or even potentially more. If they have another larger creature to cast out first. Just look how crazy Anger of the Gods or Toxic Deluge would have been. Hell, even just a removal spell. Of which my deck has a lot. Terastodon, yep. That just happened. Alright. I'm not going to concede yet, because we're not completely out of it, but the opponent did just draw 9 cards. Okay. This is pretty nice. Alright, that was a good draw. I get to kill their Terastodon and kill their Garrick. Oops. Tap Garrick, tap Garrick, tap Garrick. Alright, trading Elephant for a Beast. Again, we're 1 mass removal spell away from being okay, I think. Opponent now 9 cards deeper in the library than me, though. Yeah, I guess I should have brought in the Arc Trail. Granted, I wasn't cutting any of the cards that I've drawn, so it wouldn't have been a replacement for any of those. Man, Cradle is such a busted card. Alright, what are they doing here? 5 manas. Natural Order. Do you have Craterhoof? This only gets green creatures. Woodfall Primus would also be bad. I'd scoop to Primus. Yeah, their deck is nice. I think our deck is very good versus theirs, but their deck is nice. Acidic Slime blow up another land. All right. I'm still not going to concede, though, that, like, they're not... Their board presence isn't overwhelming. I might have to take that back in a second. Primus. All right, that's worthy of a scoop. All right, so note to self, mulligan until you have some removal in your hand because the opponent can't beat removal. Let's bring in that Arc Trail. I guess we take out the Whip of Erebos. That should be good enough. The Mizzium Mortars is too expensive to overload and 2 mana for just killing one creature. I mean, I already have plenty of ways to do that, so we'll bring in the Arc Trail, take out the Whip, and hope to draw some removal this game. Game 3 of round 2 versus the green deck, super rampy deck. And 6 we go. God, I mean, I can't mulligan this hand, but it has no removal in it. I'm going to bottom the mountain. Alright, turn 1 top. Turn 2 Mind Stone and look at top. They didn't play a 1-mana dork, though, so that's good for us. And we drew a Necrotal to kill their very first creature, so this game is already looking so much better. There's good old Raphelos. Uh-oh, no lands could be an issue. We want to draw a Gonti, I guess. Can't cast any of those other cards. Alright, shoot down old Raphelos. Hopefully they were banking on that. Sylvan Caryatid. I cannot target that one. So we will simply Gonti as we are drawing a 5-drop. Take their Garruk here. Anger of the Gods on top of our library now. Really need to hit that 5th land. So crucial. Alright, Devoted Druid. Fauna Shaman. Yeah, I'm going to draw the Anger and use the top, looking for a mountain. Perfect. So we will draw the mountain now after attacking, and then I'm actually just going to Anger of the Gods here, clear their board. I don't mind losing my Necrotal and my Gonti. Alright. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to top, and then with that on the stack, draw, and then put the top below my mountains. So let's look at the top 3. In response, draw the mountain, and then put the top further away, since I'd rather draw the mountain for next turn. Yeah, Necromancy top mountain. Anger of Gods, their board away. Cradle doesn't do much. Perfect. And now we will cast our Obnixilis, draw the top. I guess it didn't matter which order I did it in, since this was the play anyways. Pretty irrelevant, now that I think about it. Overgrown Battlement, we were going to happily kill that. Draw the Necromancy, it's fine. Just going to kill the Battlement. Play the Garruk. Poop out a creature, and then top end of their turn. I want to control their mana base. As long as I can control the mana base, we should be good. Whisperwood Elemental, alright, annoying, but fine. We can kill that with the Zealous Conscripts. Ooh, baby. Some sick nasties on top of my library here. Wormcoil last. We'll draw the Noxious first. Go Noxious. Target their Whisperwood. They'll sack it in response. Sure. Draw. I guess draw 5. Land. Attack for 3. Gonna be hard to lose this one. They have 1 card in their hand. They're gonna need to top deck pretty darn well to get out of it. Flip up a Birds of Paradise, alright. So they have 7 mana right now. Eight mana, but nothing to do with it. Perfect. Sweet green deck, but I drew my removal. Oh, what is this? All right, last card in their hand. Primal Command. All right. That's fine. They're shuffling their library, so they're not drawing the Garruk. They're looking for a creature, it says. But I just have him dead in 2 turns anyways. Like... Woodfall Primus. Nope, not going to cut it. So stacked. Doesn't even matter. All right. Can I kill them this turn? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 11, 13. Let's see, 7, 3. I am 1 mana. No, I'm 2 mana short of killing them this turn. All right. Well, let's just draw a card. Arc Trail them and their bird. I guess discard. Malicious Affliction doesn't matter. Draw step, I'm going to Kolaghan's Command them. Make them discard a card and deal 2 damage to them. That way, if they drew a land for Primus, they can't cast it. And now they're just dead to, well, Inferno Titan or a million other things. All right. And that's the game. Nice opponent again. All right, and a quick 2-0 start for us. Let's see if we can pull off the 3-0 with our sweet red-black deck. Awesome. Here we are with the finals, round 3. In this Legacy Cube with our red-black deck, we are on the play, and this hand's actually not good at all. Nothing to enable in our graveyard, and a 6-drop. I'm going to ship this down to 5, or 6 rather. Pretty bad hand as well, but this one I'm going to keep. We have enough lands, and I have a Scry. So, hopefully this one will work. We just need to draw like a removal spell or 2 in the early stages of the game here. And Obnixios hopefully gets to take over after that. Ooh, Avalanche Riders. That's kind of cool. Opponent also leading on Blood Crypt into Dark Slick Shores. Again, we're not using our Bloodstained Mire as we do have top in our deck. But I am very happily going to go ahead and blow up their, I think, Shores here. Nice. They were only able to get another black-red source. Perfect. Yeah. It's tempting to keep this alive, but I think getting the Obnixios on the battlefield ASAP is more important. Drawing extra cards. Like, we kept a sketchy mulligan, so getting down this Planeswalker to just continuously get value. Seems better to me. Hopefully I don't have a way to kill it here. P and Kieran Nalaar. Alright, that's not too bad. We can just uptick Obnixilis. And going to Doomblade there. Their P and Kieran. I could also Malicious Affliction here, but I think I'd rather save that for a better creature. The Thopters aren't very quick at keeping Obnixilis restrained. Six cards in opponent's hand. Kind of scares me. I want to draw like Wormcoil into Inquisition. Or whatever, vice versa. Because we can draw 2 cards next turn with Obnixilis. I do have to be a little bit wary if they don't attack Obnixilis here. That might be telling of a conscripts of their own. In which case I would not want to uptick. They must just have too many options in their hand. Terrifying. Terrifying. Okay, go to combat. Alright, and they are attacking the Planeswalker, so good for us. Feels a little bit safer. Whoa! That's not good. That is a lot of creatures. Okay, let's draw a card. Looking for a Toxic Deluge there, but I suppose Noxious Gearhulk is not terrible. Even if they kill my Noxious Gearhulk, Obnixilis survives another turn at least. Provided it's not like a Kolaghan's Command. They could just burn out Obnixilis, of course, throwing away a Goblin and finding a 2-damage burn spell. Looks like another matchup where Anger of the Gods could be necessary. They've played both P and Kieran and Siege Gang Commander. Alright, Ultimate Price kills my Gearhulk. Obnixilis goes down to 1, but still lives. And then follow-up from them is a... Electrolyze. Alright, well they have to do the full teal damage to Obnixilis, who got plenty of value there. Let's take a peek at their library. Ooh, Chandra Flamecaller is a nice hit. Dissolve is actually really scary too, but we'll take the Chandra. Play at our land, pass. And now I can just Chandra -1 to wipe all of their tokens. Four, 5. Obnixilis of their own. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully they don't have a counter. Let's go for the Dreadbore on their Nixilis first. Do they have a counter? Oh, they do have a counter spell. Okay. Alright, well now we're going to Chandra. -1. And attack Obnixilis for 2. I wonder if they're running the Nicol Bolas. It would make sense. It would definitely make sense. Alright, draw a card. 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana. Dragonlord Silumgar. Yowza. Steel Chandra. -3, kill my creature. Okay. Ugh. Well, I guess we have a game plan now. Zealous Conscripts. Steal their Obnixilis, shoot their Silumgar, and then Kolaghan's command them in upkeep. Wow, this is a swingy game, huh? Swingy, swingy. They're gonna bounce, maybe? Ah, okay. They're gonna far away their creature, sure. I will attack them for 2. And then upkeep. Oh, maybe I want to return a creature, actually. Yeah, let's get Gonti back. And then shoot them for 2. Do they have another counter? Boo. Is it Charm Me? Boo! Alright. We've got a definite game here. Ancestral Vision. Well, now they have a land. Okay, so now they get to kill, or rather play Silumgar. Take my Zealous Conscripts. Whip of Erebos. That's pretty darn good. So I whip here. Noxious Gearhulk. Kill their Silumgar. Attack their Nixilis. Wow. What a swingy game. And now they are pretty much drawing off their top of the deck. We should be able to kill them before Ancestral Vision resolves. Yes, they scooped. Oh my god, what a game. So Grixis control versus like our Rakdos control. Koth in. Kind of want to bring in Disc, maybe even Sundering Titan. I think we can cut some spot removal spells. Maybe cut like the Doomblade. Anger of the Gods seemed a little bit tempting. Again, they had what? Siege Gang Commander and Pia Kirin. But I think we'll just bring in Koth and take out the Doomblade. That seems good. All right, let's go to a game 2, rather. Game 2 versus Grixis. On the draw. We've got a keeper. Top on 1 seems good. We also have the Gonti to do some good work as well. And since we already have a land in our hand, I'm not going to upkeep top. Because we might just draw like Mind Stone. And now we can just top on their turn. So, no big deal. Another land from the opponent and a pass. Alright, let's find some lands. Beautiful. Start off by drawing the swamp first. And this way we can Hero's Downfall next turn. Gonna just be using the Avalanche Riders on their island. As it does seem like their color that they're missing a bit of, or rather their shallow color. Gonti also excellent in this matchup. Alright, land number 4. There's that P and Kieran Nalaar again. Annoying. I might as well just double check again. And yeah, I think it's just correct to blow up their island. And pass. No, they had another one. Boo them. Boo them, I say. Ooh, a Sword of Feast and Famine. That is gross. We're going to just Kolaghan's command that right away. Not pay echo. Destroy target artifact. Kill their P and Kirin. Then we can top. Looking for a land. We know there's a recurring nightmare in there as well, which we can start chaining with Gonti and Avalanche Riders. to good effect. Actually, yeah, in this matchup, if I just keep blowing up their blue sources, that might be game over. Especially if they miss another land here. Then that's definitely my game plan. Just Gonti into Recurring Nightmare. Olivia Voldaren, sure. But we'd rather draw land first. So let's do that. It's Gonti. Take their Silumgar. Dissolve was also a nice choice. And actually, we really want them to tap out here. Because I can draw Recurring Nightmare and... Well, no, I guess I wouldn't Recurring twice. Because I wouldn't be able to Avalanche Rider twice. Okay, let's look at the top. Inquisition, also a good hit. So Inquisition, Recurring Nightmare, Mountain. Draw the Mountain. Attack for 2. Draw Recurring Nightmare. Play out the Recurring Nightmare. Start blowing up lands. Shatterpaws. I like Shatterpawses. Well, no, I don't. I don't like Shatterpawses, but I'm just going to shoot my Gonti in response. Sure, that's fine. Oh, and is it Charm? Maybe? Ah, okay. Well, then I guess we'll just downfall. There, Olivia. And have a Murderous, or rather a Recurring Nightmare on the battlefield. Problem is now they have double blue. So they're probably just going to hold up a counter. Well, no, that's not true. We know Dissolve is on the bottom of their library. Yeah, I'm going to try to resolve Conscripts here. If Conscripts gets to steal a Thopter, then we're in great shape. But indeed, it is Counterspell. And we'll jam the top. Have to be careful. We could get burned out. Definitely can get burned out here. Okay, taking 2. Falling down to 7. Hold the baby. You gotta do something sometime. That's me. I have to do something sometime because they're currently winning on the board. Still have 4 cards in their hand. We're drawing Inquisition though, right? I believe we're drawing... Wow, they're just going to shoot me for 3? Uh-oh. That's terrifying. Alright, I'm going to jam Titan and hope it resolves. Shoot their Thopters. Get back Avalanche Riders. Start blowing up lands again is the game plan. We are in tight spot here. I guess we're going to start blowing up their red lands. What do they have here? Electrolyze my face. Oh boy, I'm at 2. I am at 2 life. Snapcaster Mage, Burn Spell. Wow! Jeez. That's so brutal. All right. I guess we're going to a game 3. Guess we are going to a game 3, my friends. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Might want to bring in the Nighthawk, I guess. In with the Nighthawk. Out with the Necrotol, question mark? Yeah, let's try this. Game 3 of the finals. Let's do it. We'll be on the play here for the finals. Yeah, and a good hand. Good hand indeed. I'm actually going to Wooded Foothills here and just get the Blood Crypt immediately. We need the double black for Gonti anyways. Ah, they have the turn 1 Ancestral Vision on suspend. Their blue seems so greedy. Like it's just a splash, but they have double blue and whatnot. It's pretty gross. And they're holding up Counterspell? Where's your red-black, friend? Where's your red-black? That's the gross part about this. They don't have to do anything since they're sitting on the vision turn 1. Ponder, okay. They might be digging for lands. If they just ponder and play like a non-blue source, like ponder, don't shuffle, play a non-blue source. Oh, damn, they did play another blue source. Triple island start, what the heck? I don't even think I want to run out the Gonti now. I guess I do, though, because we can Kolaghan's command it back. I mean, the very obvious counterspell. But they're missing lands, okay. Until they cast this Ancestral Vision. Gross, gross, gross. Did they just play another island? They did. 4 islands. Jace, Architect of Thought, sure. Uptick, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, get Gonti back. Shoot them for 2. Shoot Jace for 2. I don't like our position. Even though they're cut off of their black and red sources, they have, like, my hand's a blank. Oh, a Force of Will? Wow. Okay, I guess we're dead. They're playing a lot more blue than I had anticipated. We'll split the red sources with their Silumgar. Jeez. I'd say we're like 20% to win this game now. Yeah, they're just passing and going to discard again. Oh boy. Discarding Olivia. I drew Mind Stone. I'm going to go ahead and pop it off. Play our land and pass. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, uptick Jace, play a land. Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, I mean, I guess we try to resolve it. Take their Jace and -2. Could also take Sword, but I don't think that's as good as taking Jace and going for the 3 cards if it resolved, which it did not. There's their Swamp. Siege Gang Commander. Yeah. No equip, though, so they're holding up some more trickiness. Koth, you would have been good a while ago, my friend. Alright. Go for a Toxic Deluge for 2. Go for a Koth. Attack Jace for 3. Planeswalkers are good draws. Wouldn't mind finding Omnixilis either. Would certainly not mind finding Omnixilis. P and Kieran Nalaar now from the opponent. Alright. Hopefully they just equip Sword. They're still holding up. I mean, they held up something last turn, but I don't know. Yeah, they're still holding something up. Ooh, Goblin Dark Dwellers. Hey, that was a nice one. That was definitely a nice one. That is extreme value. Wow. I guess I can Toxic for 2 here. God, Kulagon's Command is tempting. Like, kill their Pia and Kieran Nalaar. And get back Gonti. I wonder if that's worth it instead. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Or at least attempt to. So return Gonti, shoot the P and Kieran. And then we can go for the Malicious Affliction on their Thopters. Wow, resolves, okay. This kills Jace if it connects. Notably, I'm not holding up Murderous Cut anymore, which was a mistake on my part. They had Ultimate Price, okay. Ultimate Price, shoot my land. Give them Far and Away versus nothing, but Koth gets to Ultimate now, if they don't shoot it somehow. Omnixilis doesn't do the job. They drew a card. They need to find a burn spell. I imagine Koth Ultimate's probably game over. Even though I only have 3 mountains right now. Is this the Far and Away? Yep, it is. Alright, I sack my Dark Dweller. Emblem. Feels good. Let's Gonti. Let's take their Chandra. Let's shoot their Jace. Okay, and pass. Wow. Koth MVP sideboard. Koth MVP sideboard. Outpost Siege, they're going to draw extra cards, sure. Chain Lightning. We actually do want to pay 2 red, because this represents 3 damage as opposed to just 2, which we would have been able to do with our mountains. Alright, that's Chandra. They have 1 card in their hand. Uptick. Kill all of Nixilis. Now, I have to be careful if that Lava Claw reaches. I have to be careful of the Lava Claw reaches, and they just hit Snapcaster Mage off of their Outpost Siege, so tapping out here was a little bit risky from me. Like, they can animate Lava Claw, equip it with Sword, bash, make me discard a card. They haven't used their Silumgar yet. I believe we have an even chop of 8 mountains and 8 swamps. Oh no, we don't. We have 6, don't we? We have 6 mountains. And one of them is in the graveyard, 2 on the battlefield. Ooh, this is going to be a close game. Here comes the animate, yep. Smart play. Now they might just kill... If they kill Chandra, then they don't get to untap their lands, right? Yeah. If they attack Chandra, they don't get to kill my... untap their lands. But they are, okay. So I go to 8. They can Snapcaster. They can Snapcaster... Chain Lightning, put me to 5, and then hope to draw burn spells? Like, that is a legitimate game plan for them. Okay, there's the Jace. Let's see if they target the chain. Ponder, okay. Ponder. And they did shuffle, which feels good for me. Downfall's not a bad draw. So let's shoot their Snapcaster Mage. Uptick. Bash in for 6. And just pass the turn here. Holding up both Hero's Downfall, Murderous Cut, and Double Ping. Swamp was the reveal off of that Outpost Siege trigger. And we should have them dead next turn, barring anything crazy. And they could have like a Bane Fire or something to kill me. Okay, animate Lava Claw. That's fine. So let's just Murderous Cut that in response. 1, 2, 3, 4. Save the pings for their face. What is this? Forbid with buyback. Okay, so that's the last card in their hand. So we can just Hero's Downfall here now in response to the hero to the forbid. And then they lose because we get to ping them and then activate Chandra. Woo, buddy! That's crazy. So, really nice last match. Our opponent's deck was really awesome, but we managed to pull out of there with a Koth Ultimate and some nice other top decks. Man, that was thrilling. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's take a look at the deck one more time before we close up here. Nice little red-black control-y deck. All of our removal wasn't at its best versus the opponent, but... or at least versus the opponent in the last round, but man, that Koth into Goblin Dark Dwellers really shored things up. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this edition of Drafting with Numot Legacy Cube. Again, probably no more Modern Masters 2017, no more either Revolt, but we'll bring you some sick other formats, including this Legacy Cube, and hopefully soon, the new set, Amonkhet. So looking forward to that as well, but expect some Legacy Cubes until the new set drops. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to check out all of my other content here on YouTube or Numot Gaming. But for now, that's Kenji, NumotTheNummy, signing out. Take it easy.